Louise Fay for VIP Boxing, and I'm here with Jake Goodwin. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, very good.
We're coming up to a week after what I can only describe as a six-round barnstormer, and I didn't get a chance to catch up with you on fight night, so I thought we've got to do a debrief, haven't we?
Yeah, I know. Just obviously post fight, we all know it's hectic in it. Didn't get to catch us, which is unfortunate. But what a fight, what a night. I can't believe it's been nearly a week already. You know, so I'm in the sports hall today working. I'm like, oh, I just feeling myself getting a little bit of shadow boxing, going like, oh, I want to fight again. But what a
That's
fight
it,
it
isn't it?
was. It was quality, and it's the first time personally I've had the whole venue, people who know me and don't know me, standing up and applauding at the end of a fight.
I'm so glad you just mentioned that, Jake, because it gave us goosebumps. It was
Yeah,
incredible. It was a packed out Bolton Stadium,
yeah,
wasn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
bouncing.
I've
But
never seen it that full. Yeah, it was good.
honestly, you got yourself and Owen Anderton. I'll just, for anybody who hasn't caught up on this fight, I'll just give you a little bit of information. So basically, Jake Goodwin and Owen Anderton, both VIP fighters, um, came into this putting everything, all the bragging rights on the line in a great division. It's middleweight. So it's one of my favourite divisions because you can bang, but you can move. And that's the brilliant thing, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
and we know that VIP v VIP brings out the best and it brings out a little bit of edge. But this was something else, Jake. It really was. It was brilliant.
It was a really good fight. It takes two to tango, so I can't take all the glory. But it was a very good fight. I just went out from the get going, and I'm usually a slow starter, but not this time. We made sure we got warm upstairs, and I'd already done round one upstairs. I was ready to go. I wasn't cold. Went in there from the first bell, and made it an entertaining fight. And that's what I'm glad. And obviously we did make it an entertaining fight because to have the whole place standing up and applauding us at the end, I can't complain with that. I'd
I
love to do
mean,
it again.
oh, honestly, I mean, it was a brilliant night, wasn't it? We had
Yeah, yeah,
everything from debutants to title fights and great 50-50 fights and everything between. Brilliant performances from everybody. Um, but I've known you like what, just over 2 years now, Jake.
mm.
And for me, that is the most confident I've ever seen you and been around you in fight week in the build up to it.
Yeah.
And even just as you walked past me I was in the home dressing room, as you walked past me to go downstairs and I touched your glove and I went, you've got this. And you looked at me as if to say, I know. Why? I loved it. And it was, and you both, I mean, you both were landing bombs, weren't you, from the start?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And both, you ticked so many boxes: chin check, power punching, boxing, fighting
Yeah.
on the inside. Just tell me what it was like for
Well,
you
that's it.
in the ring, in the fight.
Let's go on that one there. Chin check. We definitely had chin checks in that fight, 100%. And oh god, did it feel good? Oh, it was nice. But this can back me up now because obviously that fight went wrong for me.
Yeah,
I've said why it went wrong to
yeah.
people, and I've proven again because before that fight, I had chin checks, and I had chin checks last Saturday,
Yeah.
and I've proven that fight where it didn't hold on for me. There was reasons for that, and it's just backed up. I'm not lying. Like there was things wrong, and I've moved up weight. I'm comfy now. I'm not drained. I've not got things going wrong outside the ring and
You've got an
as
amazing
well.
team around you
I've
as
got a great
well.
team around me. Look at my corner. Cannot argue with that corner. Can I? Josh Warrington, Max Hughes, Sean O'Hagan in my corner. What a corner.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it was a great fight, and but I boxed really well. My footwork was great. My hands were up. I'm thinking my hands up is one thing I've never really done, and it's something I do now. Footwork, the movement is bang on. I finished that fight in all confidence that I'd won 4 rounds to 2. It finished off a draw for anyone that doesn't know. I finished that fight in confidence. I was 4 rounds to 2, and when it was scored 57-57, I was, kind of away fighter odds. I felt like were against me that night. You go into that ring 1 round down, but nothing taken away from Owen. It was a great fight. and I'm glad we fought the way we did because it was a cracking fight. But watching it myself, for me, I believe I won rounds 1, 2, 3, and 6, and then lost rounds 4 and 5.
Yeah, yeah, and I spoke to Sean O'Hagan, your coach,
Yeah,
after the fight, and that was his sentiments as well.
yeah,
Exactly what you just said there, Jake. And I was wondering which of those rounds that you felt that
yeah. I've watched it back. I've watched the
yeah,
fight back, and that's how I felt when I finished the fight.
yeah,
But everything
and,
feels different when you're actually boxing. So I rewatched it, and
yeah.
yeah, that's how I analysed it.
And is it something that you would usually do? Would you go back and watch your fights,
I
or
do, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
The reason I do it for looking for things I do right and things I've done wrong. I think, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I can work on that. Something now to improve on to make me a better fighter for next time.
yeah.
So I don't just watch for the good. I watch for the bad as well.
But that was like last year was a rebuild year for you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Get yourself
yeah,
back from injury first and foremost, and get back to some level of fight fitness. Because when you've
yeah,
been managing a back injury for such a long time,
mm,
before you actually get completely put out,
yeah,
it's knocking everything else out of sync as well, isn't it? And it
yeah,
does, it
yeah,
has a massive impact. And so last year when you came back at Leeds, and you got that nice win under your belt, it was beautiful boxing. It was just a punch perfect performance, wasn't it? You
yeah,
went out there
yeah.
and you
It
did
was.
exactly what you needed to do, and it was what we know and love of Jake Goodwin.
Mm,
The difference last weekend is that, like I say, you weren't just pushing back, you were standing and you were trading, you were sitting down on your shots, and you could see that
yeah,
you were enjoying it. Somebody else who was enjoying it, who smiled from the first bell to the last, was Steve Wood.
I know.
It was
I've said I didn't
brilliant.
see him because I was fighting, but I heard after he was stood there and he was loving it apparently.
Yeah, yeah, he absolutely was. And so as much as, like you say, you didn't get the win, I think everybody won that night that were involved, because as much as, of course, you want to go home and you want to take the W, and you do, and you feel like you won that fight, and it's when it's a VIP VVIP, it's awful to see somebody go home with an L, especially when it's been such a close fight and it would have been that one round
Yeah, yeah.
difference. Two rounds difference if it hadn't been for the draw. So my question is, Jake, where do you go next? Because that to me was a win, and it was a great performance. So what do you want?
Well, we've got something that we want another away day, but a nice far away day. So we'll
Oh, where are we
see.
going, Jakey?
Well, I don't know. There's nothing in the calendar just yet, but there's been questions put out there for what I'd like to do.
Yeah,
But anything that comes up, I'd like to fight again before the summer. So whether, May, June, if something comes up, and then have me summer. And at the end of this year, if there's no, my first call is a title opportunity. I want a
yeah,
title at the end of
yeah,
this year. But if that's not something, then something on the TV, whether
yeah,
whether it's eight rounds or let's make it 10 rounds for a title.
yeah.
But I'd love a 8 rounder. My next fight, what I want is this is
The name.
an away day 8 rounder.
Perfect.
Hopefully we can get that, but because there's nothing over the line at the minute, it's quite hard to say. You just don't know. Things are boxing, things last minute as well. I might get a call tonight say, "Hey, next weekend will you come out to wherever?"
And
You
this
just
is
don't
it.
know, do you?
The landscape of boxing changes so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I put an interview out last night from Jack Murphy, and
Mm,
in that he says, "You've got to stay ready. Yes, it's my full-time job, but if I'm not ready and that opportunity comes, I'll be
mm,
wounded." And
yeah.
and people who are seeing those opportunities come now. Look at what's Josh Padley, completely life changed.
Yeah, you can't
Um,
accept these opportunities that don't come. Yeah.
no, no, exactly. Um, you mentioned earlier about what a corner, what a team that you
Mm.
work with down at Sean O'Hagan's at Garforth. You've got Maxi Hughes, Josh Warrington, Reese Mould, Will Harrison's got a title fight this weekend, hasn't
I'll
he?
fight tomorrow night. Yeah.
Levi Smith. I mean, the talent in there, Jodie Wilkinson, the talent in there is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of them are around similar sort of weights. You're a little bit heavier.
Mm.
So do you? spar? Did you bring people in from outside?
Yeah.
For your spars a little bit more tailored for you, Jake?
For this camp, I have, yeah, I brought a lot in. But Will Harrison, I've also done a lot of rounds with this camp because me and him have been great for each other. For me for his fight and him for my fight are very similar to each other's opponents. So it's been really handy that we've got that on the door. So we've had loads of rounds this camp, me and Will, but then also bringing in external
Oh, with the
people. Yeah,
yes, of course. So you will have been
yeah, yeah,
helping him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I've
yeah.
been helping him. He's helping me. You know, that's what it's all about. But yeah, it's just great work and dedication from everyone. You know, getting that help and commitment from your team is it's been massive. Yeah, it's been great.
And from an experience perspective, you're there now as probably giving support to people like Jodie, who is at the infancy of her professional career, and you're drawing from the experiences of the likes of Maxie and Reese and Josh, who are
Yeah, yeah,
a bit further ahead, along in their journey as well. And that's what I learn. I take from when I come down to see you guys at the
mm,
gym. It's everybody's got something, brings something different to the table.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we do. So it's a great gym. It's a great stable, and we've all got something that we can help each other with. And like you said, I've got people I'm looking up to and chasing their paths.
Yeah. And quite rightly so. And I'm super
Yeah.
excited for your path, Jake. And I firmly feel that you're back on it and running again now.
I am, we had a
And
bad year, but we wrote that off, and now we've had a great year training. Even though I've been quiet fighting, I've had a great year training. I've not stepped a foot out of the gym,
yeah.
and then I've just kicked this year off with a very good performance, a really good fight, ready for hopefully a busy and great year. Something before the summer, and then let's see what happens at the back end of this year. Whether it's titles, whether it's more rounds, whether it's TV, I don't know, but I'm here for it.
Oh, I love that. Well, Jake, keep us posted. We'll be down at Garforth very, very soon to catch up with you. But until then, I know you're in the car park at school. I think you'd be
I'm
dying
ready to
to
leave this
see.
school car park. I'm going home. I'm a
Um,
teacher, by the way, anyone watching. I'm not just sat in school car parks.
yeah, he's been in detention. But no, Jake, thank you so much for catching up with us. It's been lovely to do so. And I might just go and watch the fight one more time just to make myself smile again because
Oh, why not?
it's bloody
Why not?
brilliant.
Thursday night TV.
Absolutely. Mate, I'll catch up with you very, very soon.
Yeah. See you
Take
later,
care.
Louise.
Thanks,
See you
Jake.
later.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.